All right, looks like we've got everyone in. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, to the 2022 College Football Playoff National Championship Postgame Press Conference. We'll first hear from head coach Kirby Smart, and then we'll open it up for questions for Coach Smart, Stetson Bennett, and Cine. Following this, we'll be joined by offensive players Jamaree Salyer, James Cook, and Zamir White, and defensive players Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, and Nolan Smith. Coach, your remarks, please.
Well, I would open with a lot of respect for the Alabama football team, the Alabama football program. I have immense amount of respect for them, and they fought and battled and lost, one of their best players in the game, and continued to battle. And a lot of respect for Coach Saban, and he was very complimentary after the game. But just Dog Nation showing up here, the tremendous belief in this program of our fan base. I mean, everywhere we went in Indianapolis, we saw our people. Somebody told me it would be 60-40. It felt like 70-30. And I just hope they remember this feeling and understand they don't need to get spoiled. They need to stay hungry like these players, and just so proud of our players. And somebody told me, you're not playing for the 41 years that we haven't won a national title. You're playing for the men in the room. And that really touched me, because that's what it was all about, was those guys in the room.
Okay, first we're going to open it up for questions now. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Use the raise hand function, and we'll unmute your line. First, we're going to go ahead with Chip Towers. Just a second here.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on a fantastic year and a fantastic season. I heard your reference there to some property destroyed in Indy tonight, which obviously goes back to Larry Munson. Can you talk about winning, helping the fans, kind of referring to the fans that you just talked about how much you want to do it for the men in the locker room? Is there some satisfaction in doing that for these the fans who have followed this program for all those 41 years?
Yeah, there's a lot of satisfaction doing that for them, but ultimately it's those guys in the room, the blood, sweat, and tears, and 200 and something workouts and 160 something practices. I appreciate them so much. Our support has been tremendous when we go on the road. Our fans have been absolutely incredible. I think about Lauren Smith, who's sitting there. I think about hugging Vince Dooley's neck after the game, and I'm in tears and he's in tears. I got off the elevator the other night, and I thought it was a sign. When the elevator opened on the 15th floor, Vince Dooley was sitting on a bench, locked out of his room, and I thought, God put him there for me to see him the night before this game. And he was waiting on his key to come up to his room. And I just knew that meant something. And it was a special, special win, but it wouldn't have happened without these two guys sitting next to me and those men in that locker room. Just incredible, incredible connection and toughness. That was a tough game.
And next we're going to go to Pat 40.
Kirby, congratulations. What things did you concentrate on changing, improving from December to now against Alabama?
Well, we practiced a lot more man-to-man. Lewis can tell you we probably simplified some things, made it a little easier. Didn't want one to beat us, and we had some poor plays on him where we left him open. But we wanted to affect Bryce, and we felt like if we could get off the field on third down, we'd be fresher and we'd have a chance to rush better. I thought Coach Lanning, Muschamp, Trey Scott, and Schumann did a tremendous job putting a plan together, but the players carried it out. We really focused on playing man-to-man and doing it better than they did it. It was no scheme trick or anything else, and these guys bought into that.
Next question from Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
Kirby, if someone had told you 5 years ago that Stetson Bennett would lead you to a national championship on offense, what would you have thought?
I'd have thought, hell yeah, we won a national championship. I mean, I'd have been pumped. 5 years ago, he was delivering passes like Baker Mayfield against the scout team. And, there's a lot of guys that saw him on that scout team make plays with his feet, his arm whip. in decision making, and we were very impressed. But again, to think that it would come this far from that national championship he was a part of in there to this one, man, what a story. You know, and there's so many guys on this team that, I mean, I want to single him out. William Poole, guys, this guy made a lot of plays tonight on the ball, and he was not even playing 3-4 weeks ago. Jalen Carter, I mean, there's a lot of guys that just made. A.D. Mitchell, a lot of guys made plays, and that's what this team has been, a collective group of people stepping up when they're needed.
Next, we'll go over to Mike Griffith. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, for Stetson, you guys had fallen behind 18-12, and you responded so quickly. Can you talk about that 4-play, 75-yard drive and just the aggression you attacked Alabama with?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that once I fumbled the ball, I was not going to be the reason we lost this game. And, you know, Coach Monk dialed up awesome play action. You know, we'd been running the ball a lot, and I think we went, 3 straight play action and then one deep ball that we got them to jump off sides because they've been timing up the snap a lot. But it's the thing that Coach Smart and the whole team has been preaching the whole year: resiliency, toughness, composure, connection. And I knew that those guys beside me had my back, and I had their back too.
Next, we'll go to Anthony Dasher. Go ahead, Anthony.
Smart, you talk often about this team's resiliency and battling back from adversity. Just the third quarter there, the Stetson Roose would fumble the ball. Alabama gets the ball at the 20-yard line. They get a field goal, but then you guys find a way to come back to stick to that whole circumstance.
I'm sorry, Anthony. I know you asked about resiliency and coming back. I thought I heard something about the field goal, but I couldn't hear you.
Thanks, Coach. I couldn't hear myself, all that background noise on my headset here. No, I just asked about the third quarter. Stetson was to fumble the ball. They get a field goal, but y'all bounce back. Just talk about the resiliency you guys showed to bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, to go out there, I guess you're saying that after the fumble we did hold him to a field goal. I'm getting confused on the drive. Oh, I got you. Yeah, our red zone defense has been incredible all year. I can't tell you how many times this guy's lined up and had to blitz, play somebody in man-to-man. We practice red zone defense a lot, don't we? And we were number 1 in the country, or maybe 2 or 3 in red zone defense, because we got some grown men up front that don't let you run it. We force you to throw it, and then we stop you throwing it. And those red zone stops now, there were multiple times that we had huge stops in the red zone, and our defensive staff did a tremendous job. We felt really confident going into the game that if we wouldn't give up explosives from 50 and 60, we get them tackled. Even Kelee's play, he runs the guy down and tackles him. We're going to stop him in the red area because they can't run it. They're going to have to throw it because they can't run it with our front in there.
We'll go over next to Conor Riley. Go ahead, Conor.
Yeah, hey, Kirby, wanted to ask about Jalen Carter. He makes the block field goal, and he comes in and plays offense. What does it say about him and the rest of the team that you have guys who are so multi-positional and able to do so much for this team?
Yeah, it's just a credit to the toughness and really tenacity they have. I mean, I took him off kickoff returns. I wanted him to be fresh rush passer, and he was pissed at me. I thought he was going to beat me up over there when I told him he couldn't go on kickoff return because he wanted to go on kickoff return. He'd been playing defensive line. He had blocked the field goal. He played on offense and played fullback. So he's a talented player, and sky's the limit for him. He's got to figure out what his ceiling is and make sure he plays with great effort all the time.
Next, we'll go over to Laney Higgins. Go ahead, Laney.
Hey there, Stetson. This question is for you. I really wanted to know, all season long, there's been people in your ear, maybe not in your flip phone, but in your ear about, how you shouldn't be the starting quarterback or how, maybe this shouldn't be the season. And I know it's meant a lot to have Kirby stand by you all season, but, when you get to that point of both the fumble, the emotion that you feel there, you could see your face on the sideline, to then the tears that happened a little bit later during that pick six, was that sequence of events, did it feel cathartic or just emotionally, where was your head at as you were going through that last, 10 minutes of the game?
The fumble was not cathartic, but the fumble, that was just football. There's no, I'd put my head down and say, that's not going to be how we lose this game. And, you know, the teammate, I mean, AD went up and made it. He ran a great route. He went up. Jermaine on the bench route, we'd ran that play in practice probably 5 or 6 times. We'd never thrown the bench route because we were trying to hit the skinny route on the right. And, I mean, just the fact that Jermaine ran it, won like he did. You know, Kenny finishing his catch over there on the left, holding up in protection. It just the whole drive. Everybody doing their job. That's what this football team is. That's what Lewis does every day for the defense. He's the leader over there. You know, I love these guys. And then, you know, the tears afterwards, that just hit me. You know, I hadn't cried in, I don't know, years, but I mean, it just came over me. You know, that's what, when you put as much time as we do into this thing, you know, blood, sweat, tears, you know, it means something.
We'll go over next to Jeff Schultz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, this isn't Jeff Schultz, but I've got the unmute thing. Can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead, Steve. We'll go to Jeff next.
Okay, it just popped up. For both players, how do you deal with the knowledge now that you will be regarded forever in a special place in Georgia history and among Georgia fans, much like the 1980 teams?
Well, for one, you know, it's a great honor, of course. What, you know, the coaches through recruiting and everything have done for the program. And the goal is moving forward is, you know, to stay hungry and, you know, not get complacent. That's the worst thing you could possibly do is get complacent. So our goal is, you know, to continue on being chasing greatness in terms of, you know, how we practice, the things we do, the players, even younger, older guys being great leaders. So I would say moving forward, we just got to continue everything we did this year and you just up it a level.
All right, Jeff Schultz. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, me. Kirby, can you describe your emotions? That interception on the pick six happened pretty close to you on the sideline. Can you just describe your emotions as you were watching it and then running down the sideline, sort of chasing after Kelee? What was going through your mind there?
A sad thing is I was screaming to get down, and that was the wrong play there. You know, I saw the receiver coming behind him, and pessimistic thought or whatever, I was worried about the guy stripping the ball from behind. And then I realized 11 wasn't going to catch Kelee. And once I realized 11 wasn't going to catch Kelee, I didn't want to get a holding call on Channing. And all I could think about was get down, we can win this game, run the clock out. You know, if they don't have timeouts there, the play is to get down. But they did have 3 timeouts, so they probably could have got the ball back. So going up 2 scores was the right move. And probably a little prematurely, I felt like we had won the national championship. But, you know, we still had to get a stop because they could score 2-point and get it onside. And I was a little concerned with that. But it was ironic because the ball was in the air. You know, all we've done this year is throw balls to our DBs. You can ask Lewis. We've thrown millions of balls because of playing the ball in the air. And when that ball was in the air, I said, he's going to catch this thing. And we're going to win this game. And he did.
We'll go next to Pete then. We'll go ahead, Pete.
Stetson, a couple weeks ago in Athens, you spoke about how much Georgia football means to so many people. You grew up in the state, you know a lot of people in the state. You said you almost don't like to think about it because it becomes a little bit overwhelming. I'm wondering if you can articulate the feeling of delivering this type of special joy to so many, really millions of people across the state by winning tonight.
Well, I mean, first of all, it was the defense who kept us in this game, you know, while we were stumbling over our own feet the entire first half and then starting out in the second half. So, I mean, they won this game for us. You know, we executed a few drives. We could have done so much better, you know, but we got the job done whenever we needed to. You know, it hadn't hit me yet. I guess it hit me a little bit on the sideline, but, you know, no, I can't articulate it. I'm not that smart. But it feels great.
All right, next we'll go over to Mark Weiser. Go ahead, Mark.
Kirby, I imagine you envisioned this kind of night for the program. How did the reality that you just experienced out there post-game feel in terms of, you mentioned hugging Vince, and you're probably worn out by all the hugs you had, but I imagine it'll be like that for a while.
Yeah. Mark, the feelings I have inside, the emotion I have for these players and these young men, I mean, I'm looking over here at these guys, JD and James, and these guys waiting to go, and I've never been around a group of players that really wanted it so bad and wouldn't be denied. I mean, remember, a lot of these guys decided to come back, and they bought in, and we changed a lot of off-season things. We cut out the indoor, and we went to the stadium. We did a lot of things, and the toughness brought a lot more toughness back, and I just can't say enough about the leaders. I'm so happy for the Georgia people. I'm happy for the people that get this. For so many years they've been without it. But I told the guys in the locker room, just take a picture of this. Because I think back to the 80 championship picture and seeing all those players and the Frank Rosses and the Herschel Walkers and all these people that have reached out and said things. Our guys have accomplished that, something special, and they, as they say, they've become legendary. And I want that for them. It's not for me. And I know it's for the Georgia people and all that, but it's really for these guys who have given so much. And I certainly appreciate what they've done.
All right, next we're going to go to Ryan Dennis. Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Stetson, you there? Hey, I know that you as a Georgia guy, for all your life, you kind of played it off that you're a football player now and not a fan, but how will you celebrate this when you get back to Athens, and what's the first thing you're kind of looking forward to doing?
Well, I think we might celebrate a little bit tonight here in Indy first, but
if we can ever get out of here.
But I hadn't seen my family yet. I just want to go hug their neck. They're the ones who've been in my corner the entire time, always supported me. So that's what I'm looking forward to right now.
All right, last question here for Michael DeCourcy. Go ahead, Michael.
Yes, Stetson, I wondered if you could go back to the start of the drive, the one that put you up 8 before the pick 6, and what your thought process was there with, a 1-point lead, what you were hoping to get accomplished there, how you hope to accomplish it.
Well, I think we had, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
About 6 minutes left. So the goal was to score a touchdown because, in our minds, we figured they were going to go down and score, and we were preparing for that. We didn't think 1 point was enough. But it was also to bleed the clock out while we're doing it, So, you saw, our offensive line, we mashed on them there on that drive. Coach Smart's over there doing this. We played Georgia football that drive. Running backs ran hard. We weren't going to be stopped on that drive, I don't think. It was it felt great just handing the ball off and watching those dudes, lead us down the field.
I want to close with this. I want to tell all you guys I appreciate the coverage you've given us. I know at times you get frustrated, but we appreciate what you guys do, and it's a blessing to be the head coach at the University of Georgia. And the men on this team, a lot of them juniors and seniors, will be remembered for a long time. This is a special group. Give them their due. When you start talking about Jordan Davis, Zamir White, Nakobe Dean, James Cook, a special group that will be remembered for a long time. You know what? On that sideline tonight, I saw Richard LeCount, DeAndre Swift, Nick Chubb came over to me. That was the group that was crying in the locker room, and this group made it right for them. So thank you guys, and go Dogs.
We'll go first to Anthony Dasher. Go ahead, Anthony.
Nakobe, I believe I saw you take a knee after the game was over to have a little prayer. I just kind of wondered what was going through your mind at that point in time after this game was over.
I had to thank God. Without him, none of this would have been possible. Every step of the way, I thanked him for putting me in this position, putting my team in this position, and I just thank him for everything.
Next, we'll go over to Ross Dellinger. Go ahead, Ross.
This is for any of the guys and all of them. The fumble play, it was ruled a fumble that, Stetson was going to pass. Can you guys just kind of walk us through what you were thinking as that play unfolded and as the officials reviewed it?
I can answer that question. I mean, it's just something that you can't control, really. It was in the ref hands, and I mean, we just got all the guys together and kept chopping, and I mean, and not really like just bring down the guys because I knew we were still in the game. I mean, we just kept chopping and outcome was a W.
All right, next we'll go over to Jed May. Go ahead, Jed.
Yeah, this is for Jordan and Nakobe. Y'all have been such a great defense all year long. You take the field there in the fourth quarter, looking to hold that lead. Just what did it mean to y'all to have the game on your shoulders in that moment and to come through for your team?
I guess I'll go first. We talked about putting it on our shoulders and it being on us. We know when we took the lead, we know that if they don't score no more, they don't win. So that's the only thing that was going through our mind. We took the challenge. Just like every time they got to the red area, we knew we was gonna bow our necks and do what we had to do.
Definitely, just feeling like we had to finish it out strong, just how we started. It's a lot of adversity going through the game, but at the end of the day, going into that fourth quarter, we knew we had to have it. 15 minutes of hard work, because everything that we worked for over this past year, since the Cincinnati game last year, has come down to this moment. So we just wanted to finish it out strong, and you see the result of the game.
All right, next we'll go to Jake Roose. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, this is for all three of you guys. None of you guys are from the state of Georgia, but you made the choice to come to Georgia, help build this team, and then to see it culminate like this. What does it mean to you now to know that you were able to see this through, and to know that you're now going to be a part of the lore in this state moving forward?
UGA adopted me, even though I'm not, no hometown kid or, just coming from Charlotte, but they showed me love, and, that's what we owe it to. We owe it to the G, we owe it to the fans, we owe it to Dog Nation, because we worked so hard for them. They cheer so hard for us, and, being adopted by this great team and this great family, it just means something special. It doesn't matter where you're from. Football is the great equalizer. You got different people from different backgrounds coming all together in one locker room, all working for a common goal, which is to win. And, we working, just winning national championship, that was the only thing that's on our mind. So, that's just how I look at it.
With me from Miami, really it was just playing for my brothers and playing for the University of Georgia, really. Just coming here, I always wanted to win a national championship growing up. So, we got together as brothers and we came back for one more year, and we got the dub, and we worked hard all year. Just to do it for the University of Georgia and everybody in this program.
Yeah, for me, the whole reason why I came to Georgia, other than all the academics and the maturing and everything else, was win a national championship, and I knew we can build into it. So that was one of the biggest reasons, and for us to accomplish this, it's like a surreal moment. It still ain't all the way hit me yet. I'm pretty sure later on or tomorrow I wake up, it'll be like, I just win the national championship. So it's still kind of a surreal moment, and also I got the right hat on. If y'all seen me with the wrong hat on earlier, I got the right hat. So
next we'll go to McLean Baxley. Go ahead, McLean.
Hey, y'all. So, thinking back to the season, dominant defense all year long. When did y'all know this defense could be special? Was it, right after that Cincinnati game? Was it, in preseason warmups, or was it, after a certain game this season? When did y'all know the season could be special for y'all?
For me, actually, it was off season. It wasn't when the season hit, it was all the work we put in, the off season, all the score sessions, getting to know each other, all the connection pieces, just everything we've done this off season. This off season has been like no other that I've had. So that's kind of when I just knew this team could be special, and get the job done. You know, and it had a group of guys to do it.
Definitely hit me in the off season. I seen a group of guys buy in to what we were preaching in the off season. We were just working for that, and just seeing them work and seeing them come to work every day just inspired me. It inspired other teammates. It pulled us all together because, you know, we worked so hard for this, and coming at the end of this game and seeing the result, it makes it all worth it. So, you know, we knew we was going to be special from the jump. We knew we were going to be special from the beginning, and just working through it and having a tremendous regular season and, you know, tremendous postseason, you know, it just makes it, you know, all worthwhile.
All right, next we'll go to Palmer Tomes. Go ahead, Palmer.
Yeah, this one's for Jordan and James Cook. I know the two of y'all both made the decision to come back to Georgia after last season. How much, you know, for this senior class, how much was this the perfect way to cap it off?
I could say, I mean, just going out with a bang with the people who I came in with, it is very special. I mean, we came back for a purpose, and I mean, we worked hard as older guys. We led the right way. Just the whole offseason was special, and how we connected, like the reason why we here today talking to you guys. So, I mean, we just came together as brothers and got the job done.
We had a vision of today, of what we wanted way back when we were making our decisions to come back. And, you know, we took a gamble, and we cashed out. That's all I can say. We took a gamble and cashed out, and, you know, it was a big decision on the seniors' part. We wanted to lead this thing the right way. We knew that we had something special growing, and to see this and see the season come to fruition and see all of our goals and achieve everything that we wanted, you know, it makes it super special, and I wouldn't change my decision for anything. So I just hope that the younger players, you know, when their time comes, they look up to us and see how we did it right and came back. And, you know, it's different situation and different factors, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we lead the right way.
All right, next we'll go to Chip Towers. Go ahead, Chip.
Yeah, Jordan, I guess, because I think you were talking about this earlier, did it seem like everything was going against you guys earlier in the game? And did you feel like that just sort of motivated you guys, even all the way up to the call against Stetson? We didn't know how that was going to go, and it went against you again, but y'all held them to a field goal in that situation. Can you just talk about the mindset when things like that were happening?
Definitely, our mindset was just even kill, you know, play the next play. Everything's not going to fall our way, and there's going to be a lot of adversity in the game. You know, Bama's a talented team. They have great players and, you know, a tremendous team. So we knew they were going to make plays, and it was just the way the things fell. But at the end of the day, we just had to keep chopping, and that's what we kept preaching on the sidelines. Just keep chopping, keep going. Don't stop. You know, keep the foot on the gas, because, you know, this is a four-quarter game. You know, this is the two best teams playing against each other at the end, and you just had to carry that momentum through the fourth quarter. And, you know, we never put the blame on nobody. So, you know, we just want to make sure that we continue to work. And, you know, when you continue to work, you can't really be bothered about this play happening or this call not going our way. You just playing, you just balling.
All right, next we'll go to Conor Riley. Go ahead, Conor.
Yeah, this is for all three of you guys. Is there any added significance to this by the fact that it is Alabama, a program that has so often you guys have been compared to and matched up against? Obviously, you can't make a national title any sweeter, but is it even better for this program that they did do it against Alabama?
I mean, for me, just never beating them, I mean, it was just special to me. I mean, so many games we had them down to the wire, and they just came clutching in every moment. So, I mean, just beating Alabama is special to me because, I mean, they got a great coach, great team. I mean, it's just special. Just winning the national championship period is special.
Definitely for me, I went against Alabama 3 times, and winning this one as my final game playing against them is pretty sweet and pretty amazing. They got a talented team, and that was always like the team that we couldn't get over the hump for. But making this opportunity, maximize this opportunity, it was just amazing because you playing for a national championship. It doesn't matter who you play, honestly. If you're in a national championship, you're one of the best teams. So, it just happened to be Alabama, and we playing for them. We learned our mistakes, we right our wrongs from the last game in the SEC Championship, and came back and won a national championship. So, it just that's what we came for. National championship. That signifies that you're the best team in college football, and hats off to Bama. They played an amazing game. They have a great team, but at the end of the day, no matter who we played, we wanted to win the national championship at the end of the day.
Yeah, for me, it really didn't matter. We could play anybody in the national championship as long as we won. My central goal was the reason I came here was to win a national championship, not just beat Bama. So for me, it was I just love the fact that we was able to finish. I was able to finish with this group of guys that I got. I love this team. I love all the fans. I just love everybody who's just supported us from the jump.
All right, last question here from Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
I could real quickly ask just each of you three to say what moment from the post-game celebration stands out to you the most. When the game ended, when the clock hit 0, what stands out to each of you when you think back?
I would say just holding up the trophy at the end, me personally. Just seeing my brother smile and knowing what we accomplished and holding up the trophy at the end. The greatest moment ever, and you can never get it back.
I'll definitely say looking on the sideline and seeing everybody hug each other and, celebrate with each other. It makes it really special because, that's our family. And, they worked so hard for this. And even for the people who didn't play in the game, it means so much for them. And, that's whether that's being a scout team player or a fan or, somebody like way across the world watching us. And, we did it for them. We did it for the All Nation. We did it for everything. So this was for all the glory, and we took it.
Yeah, for me, probably one of the most sweet. It was a lot of sweet moments after seeing that clock hit 0 and we was victorious. But one of the most sweetest moments when I came across Julian Rochester. Been here longer than any of us on this team, and I could just see the emotion in his face, and him just seeing him just like was like a representation of everything I've done it for, all the fans, all my brothers that I love. My family, everybody from back at home, all the kids looking up to us, just seeing that, yeah, go Dogs.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
I just want to
Appreciate
end out
y'all.
with something.
Thank y'all.
I want to say I appreciate y'all covering. I'm pretty sure Zamir and James feel the same way since we've been here all 4 years. And, y'all covered us and y'all interviewed us. And, y'all made this tremendous and really special. And I just want to thank y'all. And this is something that I'll remember forever. And no matter where I go in life, and it's all been a part of you. Y'all are a direct link to the fans. You're all a direct link to everything. So I just want to say thank you for painting us in a great light and covering us for over the years. And it's been an honor. It's been a tremendous, great honor to be interviewed by y'all and just to sit in front of y'all and everything. So thank you.
Appreciate y'all. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All right, lastly here, we're joined by Zamir White. If you have a question for Zamir, go ahead and raise your hand using the raise hand function. And we'll start with Lance McCurley. Go ahead, Lance.
Hey, Zamir, James, obviously you guys kind of carried the load tonight on that last drive, and then Stetson made that play. What was that moment before the locker or before y'all broke huddle? And, was there some confidence that you guys could move the ball this late in the game on a gassed Alabama defense?
Yes, sir. Like my mindset was just like to keep on grinding and just keep on chopping, man. Like just trusting my lineman and yeah, man, just keep on chopping and just keep on running my feet. Man, that's it, really.
All right, next we'll go to Jed May. Go ahead, Jed.
Yeah, Zamir, just following that up, y'all have the ball with 7.5 minutes left or whatever it was. The game's on your shoulders to go close it out with that touchdown. How much did y'all just enjoy that moment of, the game's on our shoulders, we got a chance to go shut this thing down?
I personally feel like we was built for it, like through like camp and just like the workouts we've been through and like just all the things like we just grinding for, like just everything. Like I said, like the workouts, like camp, man, like bro, we really work for this. And yeah, man, that's about it.
All right, next we'll go to Jake Roose. Go ahead, Jake.
Zamir, you came to Georgia, highly ranked guy, came out of the gate dealing with those ACL injuries. I guess just to see everything culminate into this moment, given the path that you've taken to get here, what's the feeling like and reflecting on your journey, how does it feel to see it in this way?
Ah, man, shoot, man. I always say just blessed, man. Just blessed for my teammates, man, my coaches, and just being here at this great school, at this great team, man. Like, I'm just blessed to be here, man. And I just want to thank my family, my mother. Yeah, man, that's about it.
All right, next we'll go to Conor Riley. Go ahead, Conor.
Yeah, hey, Zamir. I wanted to ask you about Jalen Carter. What's your confidence level when you're running behind him on the goal line? What's it say about him that he's able to block field goals and play in your goal line package?
Man, he's a root, man, like a tree trunk, man. Like, he don't move, man. Like, the dude is a stud. I mean, huge guy, smart guy, nice guy, man. And he's just a great person and a great player. So, yes, sir.
All right, next we'll go to Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
Ask you guys to just identify, if you could think, when the clock hits 0, the celebration, like what stands out when you think back? What moment to you stands out during your all's celebration?
The one thing that stood out to me was Stetson. Like just seeing him like just have like all of this pressure on him and just like all like the crowd noise and him just going through that and like just fighting it out and just seeing him just cry and just tears of joy, man. Like, it was really priceless, man. Like, just seeing him and just seeing all of my teammates just happy, crying, and just, yeah, man. Yeah, like, it was all great. I loved it.
All right, next we'll go to Ken Segura. Go ahead, Ken.
If you guys could go back to that fumble and just kind of what was going through your mind as that replay was going on, and just how much of a kind of a pivotal point in the game you thought the game might be that call might be at that point.
I feel like we just stayed grounded, like we just like I said, we just stayed grounded and just trusted like the process and just knew that we was just gonna do what we do best and just come back from it and just keep on fighting. That's it.
All right, we'll take one more question for Zamir. Alan Cole. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, thank you. After James breaks, I think it was like a 67-yard run that set up the first touchdown. What's kind of your mindset at that point? After you're finally in the red zone, you just had a big run break. What's kind of your mindset going on the field there once you get that first and goal, right before scoring the touchdown?
Cook, man, go score. Yeah, that's it. Really, like we gotta score, man. We down here, like, hey, man, we gotta get in there, bro. We need these points. We gotta get on the board. So, yeah, man, that's it.
All right, thank you, Zamir.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
We're now joined by Travon Walker. If you have a question, please raise your hand. If you do not have a question anymore, please go ahead and lower your hand. We'll go ahead first with Conor Riley. Go ahead, Conor.
Yeah, hey Travon, is there any extra significance to this win, given it is against Alabama, a team that has so often been a thorn in your guys' side? Obviously, you can't top winning a national championship, but what does the fact that you beat Alabama in this situation mean to this team?
It's just the fact that we won the national championship, we beat Alabama, and we really did it for all the people who doubted us. We worked all year for this, and we knew how good we were. We just had to prove to everybody else. But it really didn't matter what everyone else said. We always came to work. We know how hard we work.
All right, next we'll go to Daniel Tortora. Go ahead, Daniel.
Travon, just what you could say about, this team and just what this environment has been like in this locker room this season. And then secondly, what you would want to say to the last team that won a championship at Georgia, how you want to honor them.
This team right here, I can personally say this is probably one of the most, I have to say it's one of the most well-bonded teams that I ever played on throughout my whole sports career. And something that I'll say to the old national championship team, shoot, I really don't even know. I have to say, just go Dogs. It's legendary. It's history in the making.
All right, next we'll go to Laney Higgins. Go ahead, Laney.
Hey there. I don't know how much interaction you have with Stetson on a day-to-day basis, just given that you're on opposite sides of the ball. But, when you're seeing someone like him who really seems like he's the toughest critic on himself of anyone on the team, and I don't know how much you guys pay attention to, the criticism and how often people are questioning what he's doing. But, how cool is it to see him go out and have a game like he did today and just really fight back, even from the mistakes and help you guys get to this mountaintop?
Just out of all the adversity that Stetson has fought throughout his whole college career, then lead his team to a national championship, that's pretty big. So I just want to say congratulations, Stetson, man. You really did your thing. You kept your head down. You didn't listen to what the outside said, and we did it.
All right, next we'll go to Davis Baker. Go ahead, Davis.
Travon, could you just take us through your emotions on the defensive touchdown by Kelee Ringo? I mean, obviously this is a defense that a lot have called historic, and to cap it off with, a touchdown that basically clinches the national championship.
I just want to say to Kelee, man, that was a heck of a play, bro. And it was a lot of people that doubted him and had a lot to say about him. Also, he's just a young player. He's grew up a lot, and he showed up in a big-time game when he really needed to and closed out things.
All right, next we'll go to Jed May. Go ahead, Jed.
Yeah, Travon, y'all take the field with a 1-point lead with about 8 minutes left on defense. Just what goes through y'all's mind in that moment, knowing, the game is kind of on your shoulders at that point, and then to force it 3 and out, just what was kind of the mood when y'all came off the field?
At that point, everybody was just like stay composed, and we knew we had to put up the team on our back at that time and just stay grounded and keep going, because we know what we came here for. So we just had to stay down and put the team on our back.
All right, next we'll go to Mark Weiser. Go ahead, Mark.
Travon, Kirby was talking about some of the guys from the 2017 team that were here tonight to kind of, be able to enjoy this with you, and obviously they didn't get a chance to celebrate like that. How long do you think, obviously you guys don't think it's going to be another 40-plus years for Georgia to win another one. What is this program kind of built to do, after winning this one now and going forward?
Can you repeat the end part of that question again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I mean myself there. I was asking kind of what is this program built for after now, winning this thing, and you guys are obviously very hungry to get that.
This is a great program. We have some great coaches, and the future holds a lot of great things for this team, and I'm ready to see it and ready to experience it.
All right, last question here for Travon. Let's go to Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
Travon, I was wondering if you could tell us what stands out to you about the celebration. When the clock hit 0 and through the whole celebration, there's one moment that you think stands out for you now?
That moment right there, that's a lifetime experience and moment for me, for all my teammates, my family who was here. It just really meant a lot to be on this big of a stage, making plays and helping my team win a national championship and made history for the University of Georgia. It really meant something to me as a Georgia kid and just growing up a Georgia fan. So it was really exciting.
Okay, thank you, Travon. Our last player here from Georgia will be Jamaree Salyer. If you have a question for Jamaree, please go ahead and raise your hand. If you do not have any more questions, go ahead and lower your hand. We'll go ahead and get started with Conor Riley. Go ahead, Conor.
Hey, Jamaree, you are from this state. You could have gone pro after last year, but you elected to come back. What does this moment, winning a national title at Georgia, mean for you?
It's probably one of the most special things I've ever done in my life. Just understanding the work that it took, honestly, it's kind of one of the crazy things. It's kind of one of the crazy things, just understanding how much work, I mean, man hours and how many reps. I mean, it's kind of crazy to look back on it. And then I only got this opportunity once in 4 years, so it's even more special for me to be a senior and to be able to do it that way too. So, I mean, there's just a lot of things make it really special for me, but, God is good.
Okay, next we'll go to Ken Segura. Go ahead, Ken.
Jamaree, after Stetson had the fumble and you guys fall behind, can you take me kind of maybe through a conversation you had or a huddle that maybe got you guys focused again or kind of reset your purpose?
We just kind of understood that, we needed to recenter our focus. We understood how big turnovers were in this game. And we understood that, in their previous losses, that they lost the turnover battle, and our losses to them too, we lost the turnover battle. So, we just kind of recentered ourselves, understood that turnover the ball was a no-no in this game if we wanted to be successful, and we just got back on the same page. And us as the offensive line, we wanted to try to take over the game, just kind of to make it easier on Stetson, and we wanted to do that in the second half. So.
Next, we'll go to Alan Cole. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I was just wondering, the first couple drives of the game obviously didn't go too well, and then he turned around the deep ball to Pickens, then led to points. Was there anything you think changed up front kind of after those first couple drives, and if yes, when do you think that shift might have happened?
I think offensive line is kind of like kind of a rhythm game, kind of like pitching, kind of like anything else. It's 5 guys working cohesively to make one thing happen. So sometimes it takes a minute to settle into the game. Sometimes your emotions are high. We really wanted this game, and so sometimes you just kind of got to settle in and understand what you need to get accomplished. Not let your emotions take you too far. A lot of penalties, a lot of emotional penalties, a lot of guys kind of just getting settled into the game, getting settled into the environment because this was different. Like I said before in previous interview, this was a different environment. So it just took us a minute to settle into it, but second half we came out rolling.
We'll go next to Drew Hubbard. Go ahead, Drew.
Hey, Jamaree, I wanted to ask you about the block kick and then James Cook, really big, explosive, 67-yard run. And what was the vibe like on the sideline when you have 2 really big plays back to back like that?
It's kind of at that moment, right before that drive, that we kind of understood that we had to take this game over, just as a offensive line unit and as the backs, we kind of had a conversation on the sideline for that drive. It was like, okay, it's time for us to take the game over. Even me at one point, I walked up to Coach Smart and was like, put it on us. We want to win this game. And, that kind of sparked it off for us. It kind of got it going for us. And so, we were really excited, obviously, that he broke that big run. I'm just like, go, just run, please, run, just make it to the end zone. But, it was exciting to see him make that big run. He's been really explosive for us all the playoffs. So, yeah, it was a great moment for him, great moment for us, and it kind of sparked, what we wanted to get accomplished as a team.
All right, we've got our last 2 questions here. We'll go next to Jed May. Go ahead, Jed.
Yeah, Jamaree, as an offensive line, y'all took the field with about 7 minutes left and, ran the clock down, came down, scored a touchdown. Just what was y'all's, mindset knowing the game was on your shoulders as an offensive line? Y'all have got to, run the ball, pick up first downs, and, milk the clock there.
We wanted to finish the game with no time left on the clock. Honestly, we wanted to run all the time off the clock, but, the score, obviously made it all kind of bittersweet. So, yeah, we wanted to finish the game with the ball in our hands, and obviously, running 7 minutes on the clock is tough. but we've done it plenty of times before since my time here at Georgia. That's kind of our calling card. It's what we want to be known as, just a team, an offensive line that can finish a game, and we did. So, yeah, that was kind of our mindset, just wanting to finish the game, run the clock out, and do our job, do our justice to help the team.
All right, last question here from Seth Emerson. Go ahead, Seth.
All right, I've just been kind of asking all the guys what memory stands out from the celebration tonight. When the clock hit 0 to the whole celebration on the field, what stands out?
What stands out? So many. I haven't even really had time to sit down and process like all the memories yet, but I mean, just watching that clock hit 000s and just all the emotions, part of me wanted to cry, part of me wanted to get excited, part of me wanted to feel a lot of different things. So just that rush of emotion when that clock hit 000s and just kind of processing like, wow, like we're national champions. Like that's what guys kept saying, like, wow, we just won like a national championship like for the first time in 40-something years. So it was a special moment for me and a lot of my teammates. Me and Coach Luke shared some special moments. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's nothing like I can't really compare anything to that feeling. Maybe I'll feel it again at some point in the future when I have a child or something like that. But for now, that'll do.
All right, thank you, Jamaree.
Thank you.